Davis Mills is reportedly, quote unquote, rocketing up draft boards. And some mock drafts that I've seen have the Chicago Bears taking him at 20. So I'll go ahead and give my opinion on this first. I don't like it. I would be very, very upset if Davis Mills gets selected by the Bears at 20. Super upset. To me, this is like a Mitchell Trubisky 2.0, except worse. Like, I personally do not get the appeal with Davis Mills. So many times he misses wide open throws pretty regularly, and I know he's dealt with injuries, weird COVID season, and people are going to get into the whole, he's the smartest guy in the field. He's an X5 star, and they're going to talk about, he goes to Stanford. He's like Andrew Luck. When at the same time, those exact same people are guys that will completely brush over Kellen Mond, who has, in my opinion, way better instincts as a passer and has a better throwing motion, has had more success. I would hate this. Even Kellen Mond at 20, I think would be a reach, truthfully, but I would at least be able to justify it. Davis Mills at 20 is worse than picking Paxton Lynch in the first round, truthfully, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I mean, if they took him at 20, I mean, that'd blow my mind a little bit. I know that the rumors are out there that they would do that. In my opinion, he's like a third or fourth round grade.
Mm-hmm. Even like a high second would be like such a stretch for me.
Yeah.
Like he's like, I agree with you. Like second round is like, third round is like, okay.
I mean, it looks like he'll even be taken before Jamie Newman at this point, but that wasn't my original gut feeling. That's just kind of the way things have shaken out a little bit.
And if we want to be honest, bro, if we want to be completely honest, Jamie Newman has had way more success on the college football level than Davis Mills ever has. Even at Wake Forest, he had way more success, a school that's worse in football than Stanford. Jamie Newman had way more success. A lot of people are going to try to rewrite history. He was being looked at as a legitimate late first round pick in the 2020 draft. But because of COVID and he obviously returned, things shifted. So now he doesn't really have a clear spot. But Jamie Newman at a time had much more success than someone like Davis Mills.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not the biggest Davis Mills believer. Brought it up kind of at the beginning of the podcast. Pretty clearly, when he's under pressure, he floats the ball. Not a great tendency to have, especially in the NFL. How many times do we see the tipped interception, to the corner, to the free safety that's lurking right behind, to the inside linebacker? I mean, either way, he's putting the ball in risky situations. Also, I guess initially my kind of first read was like, hey, like his arm motion's a little whack. I'm not going to knock him too much for that. He has a fairly kind of quick release. It appears to be a lot slower than it really is. It just kind of winds up awkwardly, it looks like to me, but hey, it seems like it somewhat works for him. But yeah, not a huge fan of where he positions the ball on the receiver. To me, it looks like he's kind of hucking it a little more than like precisely laying it into the receiver's hands, which isn't a characteristic that I particularly like. So I'm not a huge believer in him. I will say that it's encouraging that he can roll out of the pocket. He's not a complete statue. It seems like he's a fairly decent reader of the field, but at the same time, you will catch him throwing off his back foot. He's not always sure-footed. I think he might make some reads a little bit later, and I think that's why it seems like he's kind of sometimes throwing either while he's kind of like on the hop or on a half step. I don't know, some weird stuff.
All right, guys, really quickly before we continue with the show, we have to let you know that this podcast is supported by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels, and they obsess over their technology developments. They're trusted by over 2 million men worldwide, and we have an exclusive offer code for our listeners, 20% off plus free shipping using code BEARNECESSITIES, no space, at manscaped.com. Manscaped sent both Reese and I over a bunch of their tools and formulations from their Perfect Package 3.0. And guys, Manscaped is a great company. They wanted us to wait until we try the products to give you guys our honest opinion. And it is a very good product. They have no-nick technology and a little LED light, which helps you get the job done a little bit easier. Both Reese and I have really enjoyed the Lawnmower 3.0 so far, and we're looking forward to trying a lot of their other products. The underwear that they sent us in the box too has been spectacular, and if you guys are into athletics or go to the gym frequently, highly recommend those as well. And guys, really quickly, if you use the same razor on your face as below the waist, guys, that's a little bit nasty. Try to pick up something specifically engineered for that below the waist region with the Lawnmower 3.0. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code BareNecessities at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping using code BareNecessities at manscaped.com. Make sure you check how to spell that in the description. That's going to support the podcast tremendously. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. You know who he reminds me of? And this might be like a blast from the past for anyone who's been paying attention to the draft for a while. And I don't even know, you might not even know this quarterback, Reese, because this is like, I'm sure you knew about him at the time, but like this is like, so his name has never been mentioned again after he was drafted.
Yeah, hit me.
Kyle Lauletta. Do you remember him?
No, I really don't.
2018 draft, came from Richmond. People were talking about him as like, he has like traits of like Tom Brady. And like, I just feel like every single year, there's one later round quarterback that for some reason draft geeks, for all my draft geeks, as Manscaped would like to say, draft geeks, they try to kind of focus in on him and like try to make him better than he really is, rather than taking like what's really been on display and like looking at like, okay, well, if given a certain circumstance, he might have performed better in college. It reminds me a lot of Kyle Lauletta coming from Richmond. And he got drafted by the New York Giants in 2018 and didn't even stay for a full season after being drafted in the fourth round. Excuse me. So I don't know. It's just like stereotypical like quarterback that gets talked up while he's like, not that great. And I see the exact opposite with Kellen Mond. Right. With Kellen Mond, it reminds me a lot of how Dak Prescott was kind of perceived. Like, okay, good quarterback, was expected to do a little bit more in college, didn't have a great coaching staff, but still was a very productive quarterback, a winning quarterback. Also reminds me a little bit of Jalen Hurts, where it's like, okay, there's things that people critique from him, but he was still a winning quarterback in college, has all these traits that could be pretty good. But personally, I think that Kellen Mond is way better than Jalen Hurts was in college. So it's one of those things where it's like, for the people that think Davis Mills is better than Kellen Mond, I cannot buy into it. Like, I just think it's such BS, man.
Yeah. No, it's definitely a little bit of pre-draft hype for sure. What are you going to do about it? Yeah, like you said, everyone's kind of looking for their late round miracle. And the thing is it doesn't happen very often. That's why Tom Brady is literally such a fluke and, such a great fluke, honestly. But, the reason why it's so special to find someone like Tom Brady in the 6th round is because it hardly ever happens, It hardly ever happens that you find a quarterback that impactful. Sure, in the 3rd round, 4th round, happens for sure. But the 6th round, hitting that miracle shot. And not that that's what so Davis rare. Mills is all. That's not what he is at all. As far as I think he's going to end up getting drafted a lot higher up than that. But like you said, we are kind of naturally pushing up some of these quarterbacks that maybe should be drafted in the 6th round, because we feel like we're going to hype them up into something that they're really not. And the college tape is there. There's a reason. With the top quarterbacks, sometimes it gets a little funky and the hype gets kind of weird. But, if you're a quarterback with a 6th round grade, there's usually some kind of cause as to why or some major concern as to why you're kind of that lower in the draft.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If the Bears draft him at 20, this is going to be a really interesting podcast after draft night. Very interesting podcast after draft night, I'll tell you that.